many of you have cell phones of your own? How many of you have ever used it maybe when you're not supposed to? I know cell phones are a distraction while driving or in the workplace, but I believe that they're also a major distraction in school classrooms. As a senior in high school, I have had plenty of experience seeing kids on their cell phones, and I know I've done it a couple times and regret it every time. But students are on their cell phones when they're not supposed to be, and they're taking away from their learning time. Cell phones are a major problem to students in high school because they take their attention away from learning, and they should only be used at appropriate times or when they're told to do so. Cell phones should be put away during all classes. So when I first looked at this picture, I saw the 86%, 80% of middle school and high schoolers that have cell phones. And that is very common. I mean, you see kids at the dinner table, you see kids during schools just walking the hallways on their phones or at malls on their phones. And they're usually around high school or middle school age. But then I looked down and I saw that third graders have 20% of them have cell phones. And did any of you have cell phones when you were third graders? I definitely didn't. I mean, I was only 8 years old. 8-year-olds, I don't think have any reason to have cell phones. And I think that this is starting bad habits at a young age, and letting them know that they can be on their cell phones anytime and not learning. And they're just learning this at 8 years old. And I just don't think that's very right. So, kids have had cell phones since a young age, and they shouldn't have. Cell phones are also a distraction when we get a buzz of a text or the bling of a Twitter notification. It pulls our attention away from learning and takes away from the little time that we have learning in schools. We could be missing the most crucial part of the lesson or the lecture, and we can't just relearn that after it's already been said. I mean, we can be taught it a different way, but you're not going to ever get those same words or the same lesson that the teacher had just taught. According to physics teacher Noah Lambie, he claims that students aren't getting the information the first time around because they're thinking or doing something on their phone instead of listening. Then as teachers, we are having to go around and explain the concept all over again. This is something that I see on a daily basis. Kids are sending messages or playing games on their phone, and then when they look back up and they realize that everybody else is working, and they're like, what's going on? Then they regret playing on their phone, or maybe they don't, and they wonder what's going on, and the teacher has to explain to them, or other students have to explain to them what's going on. I know from example, I've used my phone a couple of times in class. I regret it every single time I do, but it takes about 5 minutes for me to get refocused, and that adds up. If you get 3 text messages a period, and it takes you 5 minutes to refocus every time, that's 15 minutes of learning that you just wasted just by looking at 3 messages. According to Florida State University, they said that even the vibration of your phone, despite if you don't check it, still leaves your brain wandering, knowing that it's there. So even though your phone is in your pocket, you can still hear it vibrate, and you're wondering who sent you a message or who liked your most recent picture that you just posted, and it's still taking away from time that you're supposed to be thinking about what you're doing. Cell phones not only distract us when we're on them, but they distract the people around them. And the students that are trying to actually work on the work, and they're having to look up and see you trying to hide your phone behind your bag or hide it down here at an angle that the teacher won't see. And that's just distracting them. They don't really want to see that. They want to see kids helping each other and trying to figure out the problems that they're trying to get through together. As a student who witnesses this, it makes me not really want to help them when they're on their phones all the time and playing games instead of trying to figure out how to do something. And I don't think it's right that I have to spend my time learning it and they don't, and then I still have to help them, when it just shows them that it's okay to play on their phones the whole time. Blogger Mary Ellen Weimer adds that students and their devices have become virtually inseparable. They are using them constantly and find it difficult to disconnect for any amount of time. In our society today, it is really common to see somebody playing on their phones at the dinner table or just in times that they're really not supposed to. And I think it's kind of unfortunate that those kids are missing out on the real world experiences instead of just at the screens on their phones the entire time. And then I have this video to show that is from news, and it kind of just reiterates everything that I've been saying.
We all have one. Cell phones are an essential part of modern day life, but sometimes they can be a distraction, especially for students.
Uh-oh.
And to keep the focus on
Okay,
academics.
false alarm.
There's still some time.
We'll just not watch it, because... Okay. Well, the video didn't work, but it was kind of everything, summed up everything that I've been saying. Students who are constantly distracted by electronics and not focusing on their schoolwork are wasting the 55-minute periods that we have in our high school. And if we only have 55 minutes to learn in 7 different subjects, then that's not enough time to spend 15 minutes on your phone, and you're wasting that time instead of learning. Cell phones are a major problem in classrooms today because they distract the students on them and the students around them and take away from the crucial learning time. I know that most of our society does have a cell phone, but I do believe that there is a time and a place to use your cell phone. It is entertainment, and it's a way to communicate to people if you need something, but I don't think it's appropriate to use it in classrooms. We're only in school for 7 hours a day, and it's not even 7 hours at a time. We have 55-minute periods with 4-minute passing periods. So if you really need to check your phone, then you have 4 minutes to do so in between classes. You can put away your phone for 55 minutes at a time. With our new technologically advanced society, cell phones are not going away, and therefore we need to train ourselves when is an appropriate time to use them. Thanks.